So I am when I'm on Twitter, I'm seeing a lot of um, like memes of World War II veterans, whether it's them getting ready to storm the beaches of Normandy, or in Europe holding a captured Nazi flag. And the caption reads, "The original Antifa." I have known people of that generation, my grandparents included, but the people of that generation that I knew were men that would work 10, 12, 14-hour days. They never complained. They didn't believe in protest, let alone riots. And many of them would eat dirt before they ever accepted any form of government assistance. And the thought that they would ever be on board with the unhinged lunatics and the violence of Antifa is beyond laughable. And I have to, and these are people that, in my opinion, who are blue check marked. Some of them have large platforms and should really know better. I mean, I'm no history buff, but again, I've known enough people who grew up in that generation, and there was no complaining about them. You know, they were conservatives. And conservatism is not fascism. And they were against any kind of fanaticism. And they were skeptical. They were skeptical of any kind of movement. And some of these deranged lunatics, you think they'd be in favor of that? I almost guarantee you that if the World War II generation had been around and these riots would have kicked off the way they did, these rioters would have met much more serious resistance, these BLM and Antifa rioters, uh, if they came into some of the shops and the stores, if they were owned by people who fought in World War II. You would have met some serious resistance. If the police weren't going to help, they would have taken matters into their own hands, more than likely. But there's a lot of things from the establishment as of now that I guess they believe that the original Antifa are the people that fought in World War II. But I mean, it's just completely devoid of their mindset. At that time, the people who fought in World War II were far more conservative than the Americans today. They were even more racist, if you want to get right down to it. They weren't in favor of interracial marriage, let alone gay marriage, let alone transsexuality, or any of that. You know, it just boggles the mind to me that people actually have those memes and just think the way they do. You know, well, I mean, hopefully, my hope is that that people will begin to see things honestly and truthfully. My fear is that the people that don't, they kind of control the narrative and they control things as of now. And if they don't want the truth to get out, uh, that's not going to happen. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. And there's not a whole hell of a lot that perhaps I can do about it. I'm just putting in my 2 cents, my 2 cents worth into it. And again, I hope that people gain something from this. And my only recommendation to people, conservatives, uh, and other free thinking individuals who see this kind of thing, my only recommendation is realize that these people are going to make you angry, but you shouldn't necessarily act on it. You have to manage your anger because they will definitely seize upon your anger and punish you for it. And they have control of the establishment. I'll go into that later, perhaps, on how these radicals have control over the establishment and how they kind of gaslight and pretend that they are just normal, but they're not. And the World War II generation, again, they would never support a degenerate group like Antifa. This has been Brian with Transparency and Merit. Like and subscribe, and leave a comment down below.